Welcome back to another week of FetchQuest. We're here to have another one and a series of relaxing sessions that will definitely not leave this party in tatters. Uh, Zon, I believe you wanted to catch us up.
Nope. But you forced me to do it, and I tell you that every time. Last time we went to a vampire's house and told him that everything was fucked. So he is coming with us to Moroth once again, so that we can try to unfuck everything by fucking other people. We aren't great people. Anyways. Don't leave me a look. You know it's true. But yes, we went to Falmir's house. He said that he'll come with us to run away from the vampire god that we summoned. There was a new character there who was a female elven person, half elf, I believe, who was Francesca, and she is now with us for the time being. And we're gonna go kill the queen, so that's it.
Fantastic. All right, so each of you are still within the caravan that is sitting a good, about a 10-minute walk away from the, about a 10-minute walk from the gates into Moroth. Is there anything you'd like to do, like any interactions with Falmir you'd like to do before going into Moroth? He seems pretty clear that he's not going to be stepping foot into the capital for right now.
He's not staying at my house.
He's just gonna camp outside like a.
I did tell him there was plenty of space for him to stay at my house.
Right, but he seems hesitant upon just entering the city.
All right, I mean, he can do what he wants.
You have to be invited into the city itself.
Man, I really like not being a wizard, or I really don't like not being a wizard right now because I can't fucking just talk to people randomly when I need them. Just give my paladin sending, please. Yeah, I mean, we'll just take the long journey back and hope that he actually helps and doesn't try to make us kill each other.
Sure. So, speaking of, before you guys do head out, he is going to pull aside his assistant, Francisca, and he is going to be giving you your pay, which is it's rude to talk about money, so that's going to be a private message.
Of course.
And so he's going to say, do me another favor. I need you to keep an eye on this group. Make yourself invaluable to them.
I think I can do that.
If we are going to stay here in the long term, then we need to find ourselves a free area. I think if pushed in the correct direction, we can have at least one of them pushing for the throne. And if we can have ourselves guiding them, perhaps we can make a safe place for us here. I want your opinion on which of them would be the best leader.
Now that is difficult. They have their individual strengths and individual thoughts.
Well, not right now. I would need you to travel with them a bit and see how they work, see how they think.
I'll put a pin in it.
Good. All right. That is it.
If you need anything else,
I'll reach out to you. I know how.
Of course. Be safe, follow me.
He's going to pick up the book and just start reading it.
And Francisca will leave to rejoin the others.
So, the group is heading back into town.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, I'm going the estate first and foremost. There's nothing else to stop by and do before then.
Fantastic. So he's heading to his estate. Everybody following, or anybody got any other plans?
Domicos will be heading to his family's estate.
Domicos heading to his family's estate. Okay, so who's going with who? Or where's everybody going?
Just realized we're all splitting off and nobody took Francisca.
I mean, this happened.
Franciscus is gonna
Literally,
be
the
like,
last time we heard this happen, the same thing happened where we all just went to our own house.
So you all live in different estates?
We're not all from the same family.
I would have figured a group would have a shared area of sorts.
Well,
Would
we've
anyone...
only known each other for 6 months, maybe.
This is true. Would anyone mind a accompaniment?
You can come to any of us. Doesn't quite matter. I have plenty of room among my estate. I just have some matters I need to figure out. Resources that need to be allocated to where they need to be.
In
And
a
do you
similar situation, but I need to check in with my family.
I'm assuming I have Noodle and Jethra, so like.
You do have Noodle and Jethra.
Okay.
Jethra does seem to be more willing to follow Zon.
Okay. Oh, should I bring another person home? Is the question.
I mean, last time you went home, you just dimension doored into your room and then out of your room. So
I have a dragon to explain now, though.
true. And potentially a new person.
Would you mind having one more accompany you, Miss Ode?
Oh, you might as well. Damokos' house is creepy, and Zon's house is filled with haunted dolls, so.
But
One
it has
room.
a hot tub.
Well, I will.
But you also have people shifting around in your walls.
Beg pardon?
I have. You do not have servants.
They use the hallway. They don't disappear behind a fucking tapestry.
Actually, that was Domicos' house.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh.
That sounds kind of nostalgic.
Oh God, maybe you should go with Damokos.
It is a common thing to have the help move through ways that don't, impede travel. That's a very common party tactic for those who throw parties. God, are you not
Thank you, Zon.
I think I'm
royally
people that
trained
work-
or anything?
the people
trained
that work
on
for
mannerisms.
my family, they are people. They are not the help.
That they're still people to us too. They are just
Call them
also servants.
The help.
Princess is
help?
just leaning up against whatever
That is
tree or
what they are
anything
called.
while they have this.
We do not disrespect them in any way, but that is what they are called.
Walk away from this conversation. Come on, Noodle. We gotta go introduce you to the rest of the family.
Cool. So, Kara and Noodle are heading back to her home. Zon and Jethra are heading back to Zon's home, and Damokos and Francisca are heading back to Damokos' home.
That's up to friends.
She's just gonna watch the other two leave. Then, Damokos is, I guess it is us.
We all have one extra person each. You gotta take
Sure.
her.
Sure.
Cool. So, we're going to start with Kara. Kara, as you are, have you disguised Can you disguise Noodle in any way? Because Noodle's about the size of a very large dog.
I can't. I do not have the means with which to disguise my dragon. I don't have. Wait, right? I don't have. I think I only have Alter Self.
Don't you have
I-
polymorph?
I could if I wanted to use polymorph on him right now.
Well, consider this. You're walking into a very fortified town whose last experience with a dragon was Kel reporting that its capital was burned by a dragon.
I'm gonna stop off Noodle like in an alleyway or something. How do you feel about being a dog for just a little bit?
Noodle's just gonna blink 3 times.
All right. What dog is that size?
Fuck. About a Noodle size would closest I think would be a Great Dane, but Irish Wolfhound, Saint Bernard, any of the big dogs.
He got big. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's not like English setter size. He's a big dog. Like bordering on, he's the size. If he was a dog that size, people would be calling him a horse.
Oh.
Are you doing okay carrying him?
Let's go with Great Dane.
I'm not carrying him. He's been walking alongside me. Yeah, I might as well turn him into a Scooby-Doo dog.
Cool. Turning him into a Scooby-Doo dog. Let's just hope he doesn't flex out his wings or lash his tail too suddenly.
What's polymorph? He's just a dog now.
Oh shit, you're right. That's not illusory disguise. Fantastic. Yeah. So, just walking with a big Great Dane.
Yeah.
And after a while, you do get home. It does. None of the servants immediately come out to greet you when you come in.
I mean, that's not weird, but like, I'm gonna look at Noodle. All right, don't bite my siblings or my parents or the servants. Okay, let's go. Go inside.
Cool. You enter through the gate, and Noodle just trots behind you. He seems to not be very confused at being transformed into a Great Dane. It shocked him at first, but he's getting quite used to it. He isn't like taking up nearly as much space.
Limbs are about the same size.
Yeah.
But nobody's outside. Nobody's even doing like yard work or anything.
I mean, not that you can tell. Not immediately. You still have the different houses in front of you that are kind of split off with different paths going to them.
See if anyone's in technically my house first.
Sure. So, are you just going inside?
Yeah.
So you go inside, and you don't hear anyone. You don't see anyone either.
Okay. I'm gonna try the main house, see if my parents are home.
Sure. So you try the main house, and when you walk inside, you see a few servants that are kind of like cleaning up the home, but you don't really see your parents. Like, at least on the ground floor.
Oh boy. I'm gonna pull a servant aside. Where is everyone?
I believe they were having dinner with another family. I'm forgetting the name at this point, but they live in a rather, let's say, well-built castle. And
All right. If they get home before I do, could you please let them know that I'm here and I'm either at the Masvericks or at the Grey Castles?
yes, Grey Castle was the name of where they were going to dinner with.
Thank you. I'm gonna turn around.
Should I let them know about? And the servant's gonna kind of gesture over to Noodle.
Oh, this is Noodle. They will meet Noodle later.
Noodle's a rather large dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Smile, Mom. Go back outside, like, oh.
Where you headed to?
I don't know. One second, I'm gonna flip a fucking coin.
Jesus. And here we thought Dhammakas had the dagger of friendship.
But do I want to see my entire family having? I guess I'm going to the Great Castle.
You're going to the Grey Castles?
The coin has spoken.
Fair enough. So, Kara is heading to the Grey Castles for the arguably one of the most awkward family dinners. And with that, we're going to hop on over to Zahn.
Okay.
Cool. So you make it home. You do see that there are servants doing yard work. Some of the horses are trotting around in the yard. And Jethra is following close behind.
Okie dokie. I am going right inside and looking for James first thing.
So you go right inside, and you do see that James is sort of like very carefully cleaning around a painting, just sort of gently shifting it out of the way to get the dust behind it. He doesn't seem to have noticed you coming in.
Hello.
Oh, Master Masverick, welcome back.
It's good to be back. There are some things that we need to discuss.
Of course.
Could you have... Well, I guess I should ask you first as I turn towards, Jethra. What is it you would like to do?
I don't really know.
Well, you are your own person, and you are free to do whatever you wish. You will have a place here if you wish, so you can just stay in a room at any point, or you can do work, whatever you wish to do.
I think I'll at least stay here working for a little bit.
Of course. Could you have her set up with something?
James nods and then kind of gestures over to a servant, and the servant comes by and takes her by the arm and leads her away. So,
We should have a more private location.
and I'd imagine you'd want to check on your parents first. There's been some.
If there's been developments, yes, I would like to do that as well.
I wouldn't really call them developments. It's more of an oddity.
In any case, let's do that first, I suppose.
Yes. He nods and then leads you up. As you're getting closer to your parents' room, you start to feel this sort of sense of unease, as if there's something just slightly off about your way, like about this hallway. And as you get closer and closer to the door, that sense of unease grows. When you get there, James stops and looks at you and goes, "She says the protections aren't necessary now. I don't trust her."
Noted.
It's as if you're going to laugh. It's as if she's changing this place. Ever since she started staying here, Something's not right.
All right. Can I, is there something I can, other than just the odd feeling, is there anything I can tangibly, like, find or view similar to something like the, Medusa that we dealt with?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Yes. Nope.
There's not much. Besides this sense of unease, which, on second thought, really just maybe nervousness at seeing your parents still in their state. I mean, there's really not much. James may not trust her, but he also did kind of give away Jethro, so his point of trust may not be as valid.
Yeah. We'll make a decision on that later. It's just...
Of course. Right. If you'll forgive me, I will keep myself outside.
As you wish.
He sort of opens the door for you and then takes his usual spot of like facing out towards the hallway in front of the door as you enter. And when you enter the room, there's a sort of dark, almost musk that's hanging in the air. The room is darker than it was before you left, and it feels very, very cold, as if it's at the dead of the winter and no one's lit a fire in the room to warm it up.
Is the old lady in here anywhere?
Oh shit, you have dark vision. Yeah. So you do see your parents. They're still the way they were. It doesn't really look like on first glance, it doesn't really look like they've gotten any worse since you've left. And the little old woman is sitting in a chair next to your parents' bed. She seems to be asleep.
Well, then, while she is asleep, I just want to, once again, obviously investigate this air. Is it...
Sure.
Well, let me divine sense first.
Cool. So when you divine sense, you get a... It's definitely familiar. It feels almost fiend-like, but not like a devil. Something very similar, but just slightly off. You
Good.
also can... You also do detect a bit of... This ground is... Fuck. What does Divine Sense give you again? I don't want to give away too much.
It lets me know if the area is hollowed or desecrated, and it also pings off of... What the fuck is the... Where is it? Celestial fiends, undead, within 60 feet.
Don't you also get Fae in that too?
Nope.
Or, no? Okay, cool. Then yeah, it's definitely fiend. And this area is hallowed. But it's not hallowed in the way that
like the evil hallowing, not good hallowing.
Yeah. Not quite desecrated. This is still like a sanctuary, but it's not a sanctuary necessarily to your god.
Cool. That's good. One moment. I have to change something real fast. That was about to get real weird. for stream. I will pull one of the other chairs over and sort of place it next to the old crone and
Sure.
actually sort of look over everything, seeing
Cool.
if she reacts at all, if she's actually asleep or if she's just being an old person.
So as you sit down, her eyes open, and she gives you just a cool once over, and then says, "Do you have the ingredients?"
Some of them. Not all.
I need all to cure them.
I'm aware. What is it that you're doing right now?
Preserving them.
Insight check.
Sure. I mean, there seems to be a lot more to it than just preserving them, but she is being truthful. She is preserving them and sort of slowing down the growth of the disease.
And what are the side effects of this? He sort of motions to everything in the room.
1 second. Hey, sorry about this. Can we take a quick, 5, maybe 10-minute break?
Sure.
Cool. Hey, guys. Sorry about this.
You're back.
The side effects. Your parents don't die as quickly. It may deteriorate some of the things in this room and in the hallway, but surely some material possessions can be sacrificed for your parents.
I need to roll another insight check, or is that
Go
same one
ahead.
still good? Alright.
You can roll another one if you'd like.
I guess.
I mean, she is. I mean, when you take a look around, it does look like there are some parts of them that are deteriorating. Some of the books are falling apart. The walls don't look as clean. So it does seem like she is telling the truth.
Right. And if you stop it?
If I were to stop this, what I was doing, your parents might. The progress would continue to be slowed for a day, maybe 2, but then it would resume.
Right. I plan to be here for a bit longer, and hopefully I'll find the rest of your ingredients.
I hope so too. This doesn't last forever.
I'm aware. And he gets up and leaves.
She's just gonna kind of settle back into her chair and close her eyes. So, you leave, and James kind of looks at you and kind of shrugs and shakes his head a little bit. I don't trust her.
I know.
You know, I haven't seen her leave that room once.
Doesn't surprise me. He's gonna keep walking away from the room as he continues to speak. I didn't realize that when I hired her, but she's not from here.
What do you mean?
She is fiendish, devilish. I don't quite know.
Odd. Why would she be doing a heal then?
A good question.
Do you want me to question her?
I don't think she'll tell you, even if you do.
I knew something was off.
Well, it's just another thing to add to the list that I need you to do.
You want me to get rid of her?
No, not yet, at least. Want you to, at least in regards to her, find out where she came from. She just showed up at our door one day. I did request more people from people that knew you before you were help. But
Right.
I don't believe they sent her, and if they did, then that begs to question how they met her in the first place.
Right. Because I've never seen her in my life.
Yeah, figured. We'll find out what you can about her, where she came from, what she's doing, if anything.
Right.
Do we have like a very like closed off room for
there's
sole
this-
purposes of not being spied on?
There's the study.
Well, then I will start whatever I was walking there.
Cool.
And I won't start talking about the next part until we're there.
Cool. So, with that, we are going to take a short hop on over to Domikos and Francesca. So, you guys are en route over to the Grey Castle Estate. You guys are just a few minutes away by walk.
Kind of looking around this area, trying to get a idea for the layout of this street, different places and stuff as she's just walking. She's gonna look over to Domikos and be like, "So, what is your family like?"
They are an interesting sort. They have their notions, and I'm sure they'll be curious and want to ask questions about you, perhaps. I don't know. But it's a good way of putting it.
Complicated, I take.
Yes, let's go with that.
Complicated family dynamics, always tricky to navigate through.
Yes, especially when they're centered around the politics of Moroth.
Ah, indeed.
Either way, like, quick question, Morgan. So, I would be familiar with, like, it would be about the dinner time anyways, or...
Yeah, it's just about dinner time.
To be honest, they're probably all getting ready for dinner. I'm curious to see if the rest of the family is there, as last time I was here, it was just my father and brother.
Ah. Well, I'm getting a little peckish myself. Good timing then.
Yes, it should be fine.
Excellent. So, you each approach the oppressive manor of the Grey Castle estate, and there's no servants outside, but there very rarely are during the day. When you enter in the heavy doors, there's no one on the ground floor, although, Francesca, what's your passive?
My passive is 15.
Cool. So you do see that one of the large tapestries on the wall near the door is fluttered, as if there is an empty space behind it, or if somebody recently moved it.
I must confess I did not expect the manor to quite fit the name so well.
Yes, a rather interesting design choice.
I like the stone on stone. Very bold.
That would most likely be the hands of my father, his design choices.
Francisca's hand is going to kind of be like one of her hands is going to be under the one-shouldered cape she wears. And
Almost like as soon as you go to reach up, almost immediately a servant with like sort of the blank mask comes up and offers to take your cape from you.
she's going to be startled for a second and be like, "Aren't you quite hospitable?" And she's going to reach up and undo the cape, gently drape it over her arm and hand it over.
The servant is going to very carefully fold it up, and then as quick as they appeared, they're gone.
Yep. And kind of in its own kind of holster, like kind of on her upper body, she has what looks like a hilt of a sword with no blade in it.
Take note of that, but I'm going to take off my travel cloak.
Servants come by to pick them up, just out from behind the tapestry, pick them up and retreat back inside of it.
I want to stop one of them and ask where my parents are.
The servant stops as they're kind of folding your jacket over their arm and gestures upstairs, nods, and then disappears behind the tapestry.
Thank you.
As he does this, I would like to kind of, as nonchalantly as I can, try to cast message to Damocles. I'm kind of just like in that whisper that only he can hear. Just ask like, "Your family's complicated, yes. Are they dangerous to newcomers?"
I'm going to reply to the message just as part of the message spell, telepathy-wise. It depends. They shouldn't be a problem, but just don't make anyone mad.
Francesca is going to walk over to Domicos and be like, "Thank you for inviting me into your home. I will be sure to be on my best behavior."
Damocles will nod and proceed upstairs to where the servant indicated.
Sure. So you find your way into the dining hall, where when you walk in, you see not only your family, minus your brother, two seats made out, like two table settings, even with the starter courses on there, made out for you and Francisca, but Kara's family sitting at the table as well.
God, I wish I had invisibility prepared.
And everyone is looking towards the door at you too.
It's gonna kind of. So, the entire rest of my family is there. Minus my
Except
younger brother or my
younger brother
twin
and
brother.
older brother.
Yeah. Oh, both of them. Well, obviously, okay. Older brother's gone.
Yeah, so it's just, well, essentially just your sister and your mother and your dad.
Uh-huh. Father, mother, sister. Old days. I'm gonna nod to them.
So your father's going to gesture for you to hurry up and take your seat. And then he's going to go back into his discussion about your betrothal to Kara.
Oh
And he doesn't seem too interested in being in, like, he kind of, his attention only flicked up to you when you came in the doorway and then went back to Kara's father.
Uh-huh. Oh God, I thought I fixed this. Okay. I mean, I will take my seat. I will kind of, while I'm taking my seat, I'll gesture to Francesca to sit down as well.
Are any of them keeping like any eye contact with me, or have they done similar to the Lord of the Grey Castle and just kind of like disregarded me?
Well, there are two people that are looking at you. There's Domicos' sister and Kara's brother, although you wouldn't really know him as Kara's brother.
Wait, which one though?
Which one?
Is
been a
it
while.
Cass or is it Vedrick that's eyeing her up? It's an important distinction.
Hold on. Cass, it's your older brother.
It's Cass.
Yeah.
Try not to
Cass.
stare at him.
Francesca doesn't know that.
She's going to give a small bow and a tip of her head before going in to take her seat.
Cool.
Kind of taking a cue from Domicos.
So, about a good few minutes into this discussion, with your father not really giving you a chance to kind of interrupt or even say hello, even though your mom and sister do give you a small wave. Kara.
I recoup back to them
Cool.
as well.
Awesome. Kara, you show up to the Grey Castle estate. Yeah.
There's nobody outside.
Nope. It's just as oppressive and lonely as ever.
Fuck. I can't go inside. I can't go inside.
So Kara's gonna be hanging out outside.
Hold on.
Knock on the door.
I don't want you.
There are heavy knockers on the door.
But if they don't speak, does it technically count as an invitation inside?
I mean, in some lore, having a welcome mat so that you can read it while walking up to the door counts as much as an invitation.
Francisca told sick my seat though. I'm gonna look at Noodle. Okay. How long did it take me to get here? Like, how long is still on polymorph?
Polymorph is an hour, right?
Yep.
So it took you about 10 minutes, and it's 50 minutes, 30. You have about 10 minutes left on polymorph.
I'm gonna wait outside with Noodle for a little while until it runs out, so that it doesn't drop in the middle of dinner.
Cool.
I'm gonna go find a place to just like sit outside with my massive dog.
Well, there are some lovely gardens in the back. There seems to be a very large tree with a sort of chair underneath it, almost as if it was perfect for reading.
I feel like that's the murder chair, so I'm not gonna go sit there. I'm gonna go
No
sit
comment.
in the garden. It's totally the murder chair, isn't it?
No comment. So you go and there's some benches in the garden. It seems to be more of a long winding path of pebble with large flat stone. I'm forgetting the name of it. Large flat slate. There we go. With large slate like sort of path over the pebbles, with very large sort of vines that kind of grow in this arcs above the path with little brightly colored flowers sort of illuminating it.
So brightly colored for a place that's just stone on stone.
Yep. Which is a very brave choice for a castle.
While we're sitting outside, I'm just gonna like pep talk Noodle, make sure he knows that yes, there will be food inside. However, I need you to restrain yourself, and I will give you some daggers as reinforcement. Okay?
Make a persuasion check. So, you do your best to convey this, and Noodle just stares back at you, unblinking.
If you climb onto the table, we are going to have to run, because I think Damokos' dad will murder us. So please don't climb onto the table. If you want some of my food, I will give you some of my food. But do not climb onto the table. You might have to just sit under the table. Okay?
So this Great Dane opens its mouth and lets out the same chirrup noise that Noodle makes.
Oh, good boy. And then give him pats. Pats.
Okay.
Yeah, well, like, I assume it's pats for a dog, because normally it would be scritches for Noodle. But I'm going to give him pats. Okay, let's wait until your polymorph runs out, and then we'll refresh it and see if we can go inside. Because
Cool.
I might not be allowed inside either.
So, then we are just going to go ahead, hop over to Zon, then we'll go back to you, and then Damokos. So, Zon, you and James are sitting in the study.
All right.
Well, you're sitting, James is standing.
So there's that. And then I need you to look into the Queen.
Of course. If I may ask, what are your plans? Just so I know specifically what to look for.
I wish to take the throne.
Interesting. Yes, I can make some quiet increase. I can loosen a few tongues. I will need some gold to assist in
You can
finding
use
some
whatever
information.
family funds you need. As long as it doesn't ruin us, obviously.
Of course. How soon do you need the information?
We have time, but I don't know how much.
If I may ask, what brought on this sudden urge to rule?
Well, whoever was twisting your arm up north, they aren't in charge anymore. And something much worse is. Not to mention there's a whole army of drow coming from even further north, marching their way towards them.
And you don't think this queen can properly handle these issues?
No. I don't think our system of government right now can handle these issues. Because I know the moment that any chaos is sown, someone will try to take her place. And it'll just lead into a spiral of the same thing happening over and over again until we're all dead.
Well,
So someone needs to do it now.
well, I will say this. There are, from what I know already, there was already a ball this month, and she's planning yet another one to take place in a few weeks' time.
Will she actually be there?
I'll look in to see if she was there for the last one. See if I can get any confirmation.
Just as much information as you can about where she might be hiding most of the time, where she might be vulnerable. Even a
Right.
more physical description than what we have would be useful.
Of course. I'll see what I can find. Is that all?
One last thing.
Yes.
If, one moment as I find his name. Leapfig. If he is in town, I wish to speak with him. I could use some better armament.
Of course. I'll send my people out.
That's all for now.
Actually, sir, the invitations for dinner came across as they always do. But I know you usually turn these down, but he's going to produce a letter. It's going to be an invitation inviting your parents to the Grey Castle estate for dinner.
Right. Good timing, I suppose.
I was going to respond with a polite refusal, but since you're here, I figured.
Right. I'll show, I suppose.
Fantastic.
James,
Yes.
I do still wish to talk with you about whatever was forcing your hand. The crow, whatever it was. But the next few months might be hard.
Right.
I need your help. I know what I'm doing is right, but I can't do it alone.
There's no one more fit to rule than you, sir.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oops.
It's always been kind of hard to read James, being that he is a Earth Genasi seems to be made mostly of obsidian, but he is telling the truth. He fully believes that you are the only person that can rule Moroth.
Good. Then whenever you have the chance to do that as quickly as possible.
Of course. Is there anything else?
No. I need to prepare and then I will be out.
As you wish, sir.
Take care of Jethro this time, please.
Yes. And what should I do about our visitor?
Just find the information for now. If
Yes,
anything
sir.
goes awry, then we'll take action. I have a feeling it's not going to be easy to remove her even if we wanted to.
She has settled down to quite a good area, good protection, safety.
In any case, let me get my things together.
Of course.
He's gonna get all dressed up and then go.
Excellent. So, Kara, I'm gonna say at about the time that you get Noodle drops out of polymorph, Zahn, you start to ride up in, of course, your best horse and best dining outfit to the Grey Castle estate. Where when you do approach, like as soon as you cross into the grounds, a servant does come up to kind of lead your horse over to some stables in the back. Kara, real quick, are you going to disguise Noodle again?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't want to leave him with the horses because who knows what will happen.
Of course. Sure.
Maybe I should. I don't know.
So, you are sitting there now with Noodle as a Great Dane again when you see Zahn being led across the backyard to the stables by a servant.
Does he see me?
I forget. Yes, you do. You both do see each other. It's a lot easier that way.
I mean, my passive is very low, so if you see me,
My
just-
passive
don't
is
see
also very low.
You're actually
Everyone's-
paying attention, though. I'm busy.
Everyone's passive is low except for every single one of Alakai's characters.
Wisdom is a dump stat.
I agree. So, you two do see each other in Damikos' yard.
What are you wearing?
I've been trained in mannerisms of the highborn. This is what highborn people wear.
You look uncomfortable.
I am.
Is everyone's family here?
I suppose so. It is a dinner party, if it were not.
Shit. All right. Straighten out, dust all the whatever off of me, and look at Noodle. I will give you one now, but if you behave yourself, I will give you more daggers later, okay? I'm gonna pull out a dagger. I don't know where you're gonna put this, actually. I'm just gonna give it to him.
Sure. So this Great Dane is now carrying a dagger in his mouth as the three of you approach the door.
I'm gonna give him a good pat on the side. Good boy, Noodle.
All right.
Knocking politely.
So the door, like almost as soon as the knocker hits the door, the door is pulled open, and a servant does usher both Zon and Kara in, but blocks Noodle from coming in.
Okay.
Zon is internally laughing as hard as he can.
I hope those uncomfortable clothes make it harder to laugh.
It's inside, so it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna ask them, can someone then put him in like a stable or somewhere where he will not run off, please?
The servant nods and reaches out a hand. Another servant runs up, puts a piece of leather in it, and he ties it around Noodle and starts to lead Noodle off to the stables. I want you to throw an insight check for me.
He's probably not happy. I don't need insight for that.
He looks fine. He just looks fine.
We'll give you more daggers later. I'm so sorry.
Honestly,
can I make an insight check?
Oh yeah, you can. He seems very willing to go along with this servant.
Absolutely.
You see nothing but pure mischievousness.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh well.
Noodle is gonna ruin these stables.
I don't care. This is what you get.
You're just horses. I don't care.
Cool.
My horse is in there.
Yeah, I don't care.
So, a servant that did bring the rope or the strip of leather up to the other one, very gently touches your back, Zon, and points upstairs, and then disappears behind the tapestry.
Yep, going up.
Follow after, because I don't want to be left alone with the tunnel people in this house.
I would like to make a note that Kari, you would have noticed that simply being gestured to be inside by a servant does seem to count as you being invited in.
Oh, thank goodness. I will not burst into flames.
Yeah, so you each go up, and Domicus, right at about where there's a lull in the conversation where you can get in, you do see that a servant comes up to your father and hands him a note. Your father reads it, hands it back to the servant. Looks like we will be having some company. Unfortunately, not the grouping we expected. It seems to be their son, Zon, and your daughter. And Kara's dad goes, oh, I wasn't aware she was back, although he's going to look at Domicus and give him a small smile, although that is to be expected. And and Zon and Kara, when you walk into the doorway, the heads turn towards you. And you do notice that on the side where Domicus' family is sitting, Kara's family, Zon, you sit right up here. Kara, you have the edge right here.
Okay.
So at this, there's kind of a lull in the conversation where Domicus, it looks like your father's waiting for the two new guests to take their seats before starting something new. So now would be the best time to cut in if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll cut in real quick.
Sure.
And I would just like to introduce a guest who everyone here except for Zon, myself, and Kara would not be familiar with. This is Franziska Almanara. She has accompanied us on our journeys recently and is a guest here in Moroth.
I am so sorry about that. Looks like we're gonna need to take another just a few minutes. Just a few minutes.
No problem. You're back.
Hey guys, so I know things were just about to get good with all the families coming together, but my son has a stomach bug. He's not doing too well, so unfortunately we're gonna have to call it tonight. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. You all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Wear your fucking mask. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to both YouTube and Twitch. Have a wonderful day. All right. Bye, guys.